So, it's 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. Bad news is work has been busy as hell this week, and I am fucking exhausted. Good news is, well, at least for the first time in 2018, I made more money this month than I spent. Or at least I will when I get my next paycheck. So, that's good news. Also, I made ice cream. It probably just looks like vanilla to you, or some sort of other weird yellowish thing. Like, I don't know, it looks white, not unsure why. Probably because, like, there is a lot of milk and cream, but yeah, I made a fruit ice cream, which I was told that fruits can't be ice cream, they have to be like sherbet and sorbet, whatever. But like I saw recipes for orange ice cream online, so I got 1 orange and just a few blackberries, and I just put container with some eggs, then poured a lot of sugar, mixed the eggs and sugar together, put the blackberries through a mesh strainer, and then cut the orange, squeezed it so that as the juice went through the strainer, the orange juice is carrying the blackberry juice with it. Mixed that in with the sugar and eggs that was already in there, and then of course put the milk and the cream, a little bit of vanilla extract, threw it in the freezer. Probably could have used more cream. It's a little icy. It's not necessarily that creamy ice cream texture, but it's nice to know that it worked. I'm getting really good at this whole ice cream thing. So I finally got around to watching Avengers Infinity War, and I don't know if I can talk about this without spoiler alerts, so I'm gonna hold up this ice cream the entire time that I'm talking about it. Hopefully it won't be too long. Actually, can I, boom! So, just in case you're worried about possible spoilers, you can like press fast forward, which YouTube does have that feature. Fast forward the video to the point where this ice cream bowl disappears. So, Infinity War. First of all, let me say, this really might be the best fucking movie ever made. Not just superhero movie, just movies, period. I think there are only a couple of negative things about it. Number one is that, well, like, as if it was a standalone movie, it would be so confusing and stupid, because it really did, like, it's been like 10 years building up to this shit, hasn't it? Starting with Iron Man back then, when they brought in the whole Avengers initiative with Fury, and you know, it's just like they really built on each other. There are times when certain things happen, certain characters pop up that if you haven't read any of the comic books and you haven't seen this movie or that movie, like, this would make no sense to you at all. And I was lucky enough that I got to watch this somehow, managed to go this many months without too many spoilers. I think there are enough people out there who are just like, you know what? I don't want to ruin your enjoyment of the movie. I refuse to say anything about it to anyone who hasn't seen it. I think that's what half of it is. And I'm going to try to follow their example as much as possible, but I just don't know how it is possible. But like, from the very beginning, I mean, this thing just starts immediately with intense action. I mean, it's so overpacked with like a fuck ton of superheroes. Yet, you know, all of these characters, it doesn't feel like they're forced in. You know, they all fit seamlessly, and you know, you're watching the action go from one scene to another. You're following the storyline. Like, it makes sense. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel rushed. It's great pacing. Like I said, high intensity action every single time they fight. So there are some good comedic moments here and there throughout, which is great. That part bothered me just a little bit, just because you know, from time to time you see a bit of a shift in that tone, and like, I don't. It didn't really take me out of the film. It's just something I noticed, that little itch. But overall, still, like I said, like it wasn't enough to make me, like I said, take me out of the moment. I still enjoyed every single second that I watched the movie. Very few complaints. In fact, my biggest complaint is just that how the fuck are we gonna watch any other movie? Like, honestly, I feel like if Infinity War was the end of the MCU, I would be perfectly happy with that, because there's just no possible way to top this shit. And I know that, spoiler alert, the bad guy wins at the end, which unfortunately, like I said, we already know it's part one, so there's more to the story, but still, like, I don't mind seeing stories where the bad guy wins. It's good to see stories where people can actually die. It's just an interesting thing for me. But yeah, I think, oh my god, just, it's really hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it. But like, on the one hand, I never want to see another movie again, because, yeah, I know nothing can ever be better than this was. On the other hand, now I feel like I have to see every single Marvel movie to see, like, how they plan to fix this. How the hell can we build off of this? You know, because, like, they've got an Ant-Man movie, and like, how is they gonna fit that in? It's because it definitely takes place after Captain America Civil War, but does it take place after Infinity War, or is it happening at the same time? And like, this explains why he wasn't in it, because he was busy with this while all this other stuff was going on with y'all. Plus, there's also that whole thing about, no, he's just like small scale hero. We literally just had the extinction of half the universe. You know, it's gonna be hard to feel invested in this. But I might actually go back. I never saw the original Ant-Man, but I might feel like checking that out now, just so I know just so I'm caught up, and then might check out Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then I know there's a Captain Marvel movie on the way, so might have to check that out. Like I said, just to see, you know, what Marvel's going to do with their universe, because that's one thing I loved with the whole, like, Captain America Winter Soldier, because they did Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then Captain America destroys S.H.I.E.L.D. And since, you know, this show exists in that universe, this movie completely changed, like, the entire premise of this show, because S.H.I.E.L.D's gone now. So what do we do here? You know, it was awesome to see that. So that's one thing with Infinity War. You know, the end result, how do they tie that in with everything else? And okay, I can't help but spoil this, but dear God, this movie had me weeping. I was fine most of the way. Like, I was shocked. Like, with Loki dying, I was like, no! But it was at the very beginning, and there was also kind of a, like, yes? Just because it's like, oh, it's that kind of movie? Fuck yeah. You know what you gotta do, Marvel. You know what you gotta do. But then, I got the end, everyone starts disappearing. Like, it shocked me that, wait, Black Panther gone? How can you just kill Chadwick off? No. But, and just, oh my fucking, even before that, my dear God, Vision. That was just cruel. That was cruel. Fuck you, Russo brothers. How dare you do that to us? To Vision. How dare you? But I somehow managed to make it through that, and then, like, I guess the shock that, oh, there are actual main characters disappearing. And then, I think most of the people that I've talked to feel this exact same way, but Spider-Man's, man, fuck you, Tom Holland. I think he might be one of the greatest Spider-Mans ever. Like, I have issues with Homecoming. However, there's like he himself acting out the part of young Peter does a fantastic job fulfilling that role, especially like the innocence of the youth. There's one thing I have an issue with, just because in this continuity, Uncle Ben is already dead. Yet in this movie, it almost seemed like, dear God, when Peter died, Tom played it far too innocent. It almost was like watching a 7-year-old. You haven't even explained what death is to him, and now he's got shot, and you're just like, shh, it's okay, it's okay. You're just going to sleep. It's gonna be fine, kid. You're gonna be okay. You're just gonna have a really nice dream. Like, honestly, Tom Holland just had me on the floor weeping. Fuck you, Tom. But yeah, that movie just #shook. Honestly, that's the best way I can put it. To my very core. I legitimately just, while watching the end credits, I found myself thinking, fuck this. I'm gonna sell every single thing I own and just move to the mountains, spend the rest of my life just staring at the sky, pondering the meaning of existence. So, I loved Infinity War so much, I'm actually going to start watching more movies. I'm going to check out Deadpool 2. I don't know what it is. Somewhere around, last year, I just stopped going to movies. I don't know why. I just wasn't feeling it. But, some of these movies, Thor Ragnarok was pretty good. Spider-Man Homecoming, I liked it. Black Panther was so amazing. So I ended up seeing Avengers, Infinity War, and now suddenly, oh fuck yeah, I'm a movie guy again. So I'm gonna see Deadpool 2 first chance I get. I'm gonna check out Incredibles 2 at some point in time. I'm interested to see what direction they take it. I'm a little worried that it might fall flat at some points, because I can tell what they're trying to do with this story, and I appreciate that the effort is being made. But there's also the concern about, I'm concerned that they might be playing too much into the stereotype of the dunderhead father. I'm trying to figure out what word I mean, but the dim-witted dad who has no idea what he's doing. I mean, I don't know. It's we'll see how they how they actually put it into action. Now, so we'll see what happens along the way, but I'm gonna give it a fair chance. But like I said, I'm also going in acknowledging the possibility it might not necessarily be all it's cracked up to be. And then, but we'll see. Like Pixar's got a pretty good track record. Very few Pixar movies that I can look at and say oh my god, I don't love this. There are a couple. Not saying there aren't any that I don't like. There are a couple, but very few. Very, very few. And then, I think Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, they keep showing more trailers and it keeps looking awesome. I'm gonna have to check it out. But more than anything else, you know what? I'm ready now. And that might sound weird to you, because, honestly, if Infinity War was exactly what I needed, because I think I was more burnt out than I realized, spending this past year working on my comics, dealing with employees, some of them better than others, had to fire one. It's actually officially my third time firing her. She's had a couple of warnings here and there. At the end of the day, I keep giving her money and she keeps giving me excuses, so I have to let her go, and it sucks. All of that money just down the drain, it counts as a total loss. If I was a real asshole, I could probably sue her and get some of that back. Because technically, I think she technically violated the terms of the contract, just in the sense that, I give you money, you give me pictures. I have no pictures, you don't deserve money. So I think legally I'm within my rights, but I also know she broke as hell. She can't actually give me that money, and I might send her to the streets, homelessness and stuff. And I'm like, nah, I'm not that much of an asshole. Not yet. So we'll just count this as lesson learned. Be more careful, and be more careful with who I interview. Try to be as thorough as possible. Try to gauge their character, and also, don't wait so long to get rid of someone once you know that it's not going to work out. I kept trying. I try to give it second chances. I want to believe in people, but yeah, it's just she keeps throwing them away. So she gone. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about how, I was thinking about Avengers, and you know what I did on Sunday? Because on Sunday I was with my grandmother, and we were just flipping through the channels. We stopped on one, Mighty Ducks was playing, and then we saw Cool Runnings, and then we saw The Sixth Man. I don't know why, they just did a marathon of 90s sports movies, and I fucking loved it. It was a great Sunday. And then, I go see the next day, see Infinity War, and I don't know, it just something awoke within me. Like I said, I had no idea just how burnt out I really was, and I've just been revitalized in a sense. I feel more confident now. Now I've been doing. I haven't actually done much this week just because work. Some reason I'm finally feeling inspired. Well, you got no free time now because, bam, full house every night. That's how my life works. Whenever I try to talk and then just randomly start coughing. That's how my life works. I am barely keeping my eyes open right now. I don't know where the fuck I put my glasses. Oh well, we'll find them eventually, hopefully. So yeah, I feel, a sense of rejuvenation, watching these classic movies that I grew up with, and how they still give me the same laughter and the same joy as they did 20 years ago. Watching Infinity War for the first time, and how it just, it reached into my very soul. And it just changed my being, it reminded me why I'm doing this in the first place. Because I want to be able to tell the stories that make people laugh, that make people cry, that inspire people. And it might take a while to get there, but it's the only thing in life that I've ever truly wanted enough to fight for. And so, let's get this shit. I've made, I think, 4. Well, no, I've edited my book now 3 times, so I'm on the 4th edit. So it's already drastically different. We're gonna make a lot of changes to things here and there, but I'm gonna try and get it done by the end of July at the latest. I'm gonna try to force myself to actually just work on this shit. Like I said, book 1 of my first comic book is done, my autobiography. Now it's done, but it's not ready. I'm just constantly tweaking it until I reach a point where I feel like I can't possibly do any better than this. And then, come September, I'm going to start kind of somewhat marketing type stuff. And I don't know I don't have an exact sell date, but like I said, hopefully September at earliest, depending on how smoothly things go on the marketing side of things, and this whole formatting the books, selling, and getting everything up on social media and whatnot. And then we get to the whole actual selling things. Maybe do some test runs, ask a few people, to, hey, you mind reading this and doing a review, some promotional stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm a beg. I'm gonna hit up all the YouTubers and I'm a beg. Yo, dog, please read me, bro. My butt is starting to hurt, so I'm gonna have to turn this off. But just letting you know, 2 o'clock in the morning after an 11-hour shift, 12 hours on my feet if you count the time I walked, the half-hour walk to work and the half-hour walk back. I am dead tired. I'm about to just fall asleep in 2 minutes, but I've never felt more alive. Thank you, Infinity War. You reminded me of what it is I need to do. I'm on a mission now. Let's hit the shit.